feeling when someone remembers your birthday without a Facebook reminder? Well, imagine being remembered by God Himself while floating on a world-spanning ocean. Today, we're diving deep into Genesis chapter 8, uncovering 50 mind-blowing insights that will transform how you see this ancient story.
And what's fascinating is how these insights aren't just historical trivia, they're packed with profound meaning that's relevant even today.
Let's start with something that caught my eye. This phrase, God remembered Noah. What's the significance there?
That's actually one of our most powerful insights. When the text says God remembered Noah, it's not suggesting God had forgotten him. It's showing divine covenant faithfulness in action.
Wait, so it's more like remembering to act rather than just mental recall?
Exactly. And what's remarkable is that this remembrance included every living thing on the ark. It shows God's comprehensive care for all creation.
Speaking of timing, I noticed there's a lot of specific dates mentioned. What's with all these numbers?
This is where it gets really interesting. The flood lasted 150 days, which reflects a complete judgment cycle. But here's something fascinating. This timeline actually mirrors a human gestation period.
Hold up, are you saying there's a birth metaphor happening here?
Precisely. The whole flood narrative can be seen as a rebirth of creation. The 7th month, 17th day when the ark rested, that's marking a point of rest after a complete cycle.
That's mind-blowing. And then there's this whole thing with the birds, the raven, and the dove. What's that about?
The raven and dove sequence is incredibly symbolic. The raven, going to and fro, represents restlessness, while the dove becomes a symbol of peace and new beginnings.
And the olive branch, that's where we get that symbol from, right?
Yes, the olive leaf brought back by the dove became one of the most enduring symbols of peace in human history. It's showing us that new life is possible after judgment.
You know what's striking me? The patience involved. Noah keeps waiting, even after things look dry.
That's such a crucial observation. Noah waited for God's timing, even when everything looked ready. He sent out birds 3 times, with 7-day intervals.
7 days. There's that number symbolism again.
Right. And speaking of numbers, the dates are incredibly precise. 1st month, 1st day marking new beginnings. 2nd month, 27th day showing completion.
It's like a divine calendar.
Exactly. And what's remarkable is how the earth dried gradually. It wasn't an instant fix, it was a thorough restoration process.
That's actually quite comforting, the idea that even divine restoration takes time.
And it leads to something beautiful. When Noah finally leaves the ark, the first thing he does is build an altar.
So his first act is worship?
Yes. And this leads to God making an incredible promise, never again to curse the ground in this way.
Let's talk about that promise. It seems pretty significant.
It's massive. This covenant is unconditional. God makes this promise regardless of human behavior.
Even though the text acknowledges that human evil remains.
That's what makes it so remarkable. God promises that despite human evil, the seasons will endure. It's pure mercy.
You mentioned earlier about the wind passing over the earth. Can we go back to that?
Yes. This wind echoes the spirit, ruach in Hebrew, from Genesis 1:2. It's showing divine power bringing order from chaos.
So there's a connection back to creation?
Absolutely. The flood story is essentially a recreation narrative. The waters of chaos are controlled, just like in Genesis 1.
And what about this idea of God's restraint? The waters stopping?
That's another profound insight. The restraint of the waters mirrors divine restraint in judgment. It shows God's mercy in action.
It's striking how many layers of meaning there are in what could be just a simple flood story.
And each layer reveals something about divine character and human response. Take Noah's obedience. It leads to life.
Can we talk about the significance of Noah removing the ark's covering?
That's a powerful moment. It symbolizes unveiling, seeing the new world God has prepared.
But he still doesn't leave, right?
Right. Even after seeing dry ground, Noah waits for God's word. It's a remarkable picture of trust.
Let's circle back to the sacrifice Noah offers. Why clean animals specifically?
The clean animals represent the best offering possible. The text says, the aroma was pleasing to God.
And this leads to the covenant?
Yes. The sacrifice and covenant are intimately connected. It establishes a new relationship between God and creation.
What strikes me is how personal this all feels. God remembering, Noah waiting, this relationship developing.
That's exactly it. These aren't just events, they're revealing the nature of divine human relationship.
And the promise about the seasons, that's still relevant today, isn't it?
Absolutely. Every time we experience the cycle of seasons, we're witnessing the fulfillment of this ancient promise.
It's amazing how a text this ancient can feel so current.
That's because it deals with timeless themes, divine faithfulness, human trust, hope after devastation.
And new beginnings. There's so much about new beginnings here.
Yes, and notice how each new beginning starts with divine initiative, God remembering, God sending the wind, God making promises.
But requiring human response too, right?
Exactly. Noah's obedience, his patience, his worship, it's all part of the story.
So, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from these 50 insights?
That divine faithfulness and human faithfulness work together in the story of renewal and hope.
And it all starts with being remembered.
Yes, being remembered by a God who acts to save and restore.
These layers of meaning are incredible. The numbers, the birds, the timing.
And each layer reveals something new about divine character and purpose.
It's like a masterfully crafted story with purpose in every detail.
That's exactly what it is, and we've only scratched the surface of its meaning.
Well, this has been absolutely fascinating. Any final thoughts?
Just that these insights show us something timeless, that hope and renewal are possible, even after the greatest devastation.
And that being remembered by God changes everything.
Exactly. Every new season is a reminder of that ancient promise of faithfulness.
Thank you for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Remember, sometimes the oldest stories carry the freshest hope.